This is the 181st episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the second week of July 2014. This episode is titled Speaking Out. CloudFocus Weekly is brought to you by The Permissioner, by Arkus. Mass assign and revoke Salesforce permission sets. It truly is permission sets made easy. Available for free on the App Exchange, or go to thepermissioner.com. I'm your host, Jason Atwood, and joining me, co-host, 181 times in a row, never missed a beat, never had a podcast without him, co-host, co-founder, gonna come up with an insult with co in there, didn't do it, Justin Elstein.
Oh, thank you.
You're waiting for your name to say something?
I was waiting. I've got my brand new snowball in front of me.
Yeah, we are recording, if you can't hear the background noise, because one of our recording studios is always at 66 degrees, but this recording studio, someone wanted to keep it like 89.
Not 89.
I'm literally sweating.
You run hot.
I do, but that's why we have AC in the summer.
It's the window. The window's open.
A crack! You can even open your windows much more than that.
Look how wide that window is open.
It could go much wider, and it's
like
hotter
it's
hotter outside. Yeah, let in the hot air.
Would you like me to let the hot air in?
Why don't you burn some more things for lunch?
I burned some stuff. Listen, it's a good day though. I have a new snowball in front of me.
That's true, and I do too. You have the traditional black snowball.
That's correct.
I now have a white one. They actually had green. We were going to get Arkus green snowballs, but they were back ordered or something, so we didn't get them. So we just thought, because we actually record a lot from our other studio, this studio, what I like to call now the hot box.
It is the hot box.
Oh, it's terrible. But you were so making.
But I can't have the air conditioner on.
You could have for the hour before I got here,
and then you just get hot.
Why don't you just tell the listeners what you were doing before I got here?
I was working.
With what kind of clothes on?
Not a lot of clothing on.
I hope one of your clients is listening. It's like, wow,
that's how I gotta get stuff done.
Hashtag nude configurer.
Not nude, no. I mean, I'm the only one here, so no reason not to sit here in no shirt on.
I guess. As you can tell, we have a lot of pressing news to get to today.
Lots to talk about.
So we do have the last of the series, I think. Actually, I know, because I just finished up the next blog post. But the last of the Summer 14, because Summer 14 is, I think, starting like now, or last week, this week. Today.
Tonight, I
Right.
think.
So the last of the Summer 14 blog post is now up, and we will talk about that. We have new news from the Dreamforce world, so we will talk about Dreamforce and a little bit of new speakers. Very exciting. I'm saying maybe most exciting. And then, because there is an absolute lack of news in the world, unless you're Brazilian, see, so I tied it in there. We're going to talk about sort of the World Cup, but from a technical standpoint, like how. Because I think of the many games, we didn't even watch all of them on regular TV. I had many different experiences watching or listening to World Cup. Thought we'd talk maybe how this could be, how they handled things well from a technical, mobile, social perspective, and how things weren't. And so we have some news around that too. And then we'll finish it up with the CloudFocus app pick of the week. Let's get to it. I need some sort of music. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and when they go to the news segment, there's like a. So there you go. That's it.
Just record break.
Just record that. So on the blog front, work.com, summer 14, and what is in it for you? Question mark. Exclamation point.
Exclamation.
Point. Our newest blogger has put up her take on work.com and the new features that will be available to you if you're a work.com person very, very soon, if not tomorrow morning. So it is at blog.arkusinc.com, of course, where all things are. We actually have a tag on them all, Summer 14, so you can click on Summer 14 if you want to see all the Summer 14 articles in a row. But why don't you pick one that you're excited about? Because we are Work.com users. We are also Work.com certified partners. So we're all in. And you're actually in the midst of, or maybe finishing up, probably finishing up a Work.com implementation.
Rolling out the training in the next week to the pilot group, and then beyond that, after that, we're rolling it out to the whole organization.
So Sagui,
yeah,
that's your nickname.
Mm-hmm.
So for listeners, I would like to know. I just had a mind blown thing.
I hope I can answer.
We don't really talk about what we do on a day-to-day basis. Like, we don't talk about our clients or consulting. We usually talk about like our take on stuff with, what's our combined experience years on Salesforce?
Lots.
It's almost 20 years now. What are you, 7?
2007 was the first time I touched
7
it.
plus 7 is 7. I'm at 14. So, all right. Yeah. 21
plus.
years. Woo!
Good.
But what we don't talk about is like experiences and stuff like that in the consulting, because we don't want to make this too much of like Salesforce consultants today. That could be a new podcast.
That's another one.
Maybe as a special thing, if I'd like to hear from listeners, either in Success Group or Twitter or whatever, would that be interesting? Like, would it be fun if you heard like a challenge of the week or something that we kind of did that was fun, or maybe broke through, again, all NDAs aside, but, like your experience doing Work.com right now, and might be hard to talk about, but we'll figure a way out. Anyway, we want to know. If you want to know, tell us. What are your things about Work.com that you're interested in, or the Summer 14 thing?
Yeah, so I think it's the first one that she writes about, which is skills, and I think we talked about this in some detail, whether it be last week or the week before. But the ability to basically turn on the skills feature and endorse and say this person is proficient in this skill, and then be able to take that to the next level and be able to find people within the organization that have a certain skill. So, I can see big organizations going very like, this person has a good Excel skills, right? Like, and I need to do some Excel formulas that I don't know how to do. So let me look for someone with Excel skills, or maybe something more broad like marketing.
I know someone with marketing skills, or maybe Salesforce,
perhaps. So I think the skills feature is something that I'm looking forward to seeing roll out as an integrated thing, as well as a Work.com feature set.
Yeah, I think one of the other things she talks about in the blog post. By the way, with all the current bloggers, we don't blog as much.
No,
it's been nice.
We don't.
One every 7 weeks now.
One every 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah. Which is the more different types of funds. So it used to be sort of Amazon card and only, if you wanted to give out things. And I've struggled with this as a concept. I like the idea of rewarding rewarding in general. I think one of the things we learned in the training and heard about as a case is giving every employee like their own fund, like you can say you can give this much like a year, so $100 or $200 or whatever, and you can just give it to people who you work with. And like part of me thinks, boy, that's a really interesting idea. And then part of me thinks, I don't know, when you mix money with like, not work, because that doesn't make any sense, but when you make money into like a reward system, and I don't know, I think there could be weirdness there. I'd love actually to hear from people who have done it and thought that, this is great or not. Anyway, you can now have different types of rewards, like Starbucks or Spa Finder. I see the comment I put in the doc that to her blog post as a joke. She left it in there as part of the thing, because she writes, this blog post is worth a spa day, right? Which I wrote as kind of a joke, and it currently made it into the...
Apparently so.
I mean, it was sort of a joke, but it was also sort of...
it works.
Anyway,
we'll leave it in there.
That's fun. There's also a couple other things.
We'll do that strike-through thing, where you like leave it in, but you
strike it out.
Strike it out. This is an edit.
No, it's good. So that's actually a great first blog post. So leave comments on that. You can leave comments at the below. We forgot to talk about this ever, but there's discuss.
Use it. Discuss stuff with us.
Right.
Do you know what's cool is after this blog post was posted and made live on the internet,
yes,
I went into our Salesforce instance and gave out our awesome blog post badge.
Nice.
To the author of this blog.
Are you the only person getting about that blog post since you're the blog master?
No. Everyone can give it out. I think I made it so everyone can give it out. But I will be giving that out from time to time when I think it's warranted.
I still really think the You've Been Treated is the best.
You've Been Treated is the best. but it's not an official badge.
No, it
for
isn't.
us. We should have it, badge. Though.
I love that the blog post, you actually asked me, you should make a badge for that. I'm like, seriously, you can't go get some stupid internet on internet.
You're
internet
the image
gift?
Guy, so you're like, I didn't want to let you down with just an image from the web, but I hope you saw it and approved of it.
I think I liked it.
Okay, good.
All right, so I like that, and I like blog.arkusinc.com. Go there, get all the blogs.
Good website.
I think this is literally this month is the 4th anniversary of the blog. It was July 2010, so there is a lot of content on there.
Tons of it.
And more coming. Although we're still going to keep to once a week, right? We're not going to up that.
Yeah, I think one blog and one podcast a week is a nice amount of content.
I think that's it. We shouldn't have to blog because we're podcasters.
Well,
we should put that into
put that to a vote, and I think we'd win.
Speaking of things who are winning, is Dreamforce speakers. This week announced 3 new speakers, or 2 new, 1 new to Dreamforce 14. So, again, I know this is the obvious of obvious, but Dreamforce annual conference by Salesforce, biggest tech conference in the world now?
I don't know.
Country, world,
I don't know
something.
how you measure it. I don't know how you even talk about it.
It's October 14th through 16th in this year. Going to be huge. Might not be as huge because I think they're getting to capacity. That's my gut reaction, is that they can't actually get more people into this thing. And
there's not enough hotel rooms.
I'm glad. I'm sorry. I liked it. I liked it at 95. I liked it at 85. 105 didn't make it better for me. 135 didn't make it better.
I liked it at like 8,000.
Well, I don't think you were there at 8. I think you were there at 14.
No.
Because I was there at 7.
I liked it at 14.
But this year, not that we're getting political at all this year. This is going to, some people.
It's already ruffled the feathers. I've been watching in the community and on the Twitter. People are not all that pleased that when you go to Salesforce.com, there's, big Hillary and Al Gore pictures. And they're like, come on, guys. Like, can't we just keep this, not so political? But anyone who knows Mark Benioff and has seen him talk before knows he's not afraid to wear it on his sleeve. He will bring in speakers that he's not worried. He'll bring in impersonators. He's not worried about the political backlash. So with that said, we have Hillary Clinton. Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Fresh off her book tour.
And we've already seen Bill Clinton at Dreamforce, so now we get Hillary. And...
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most excited you've ever been for any speaker ever at Dreamforce, 1 being absolutely not excited for anything. Where are you on this?
On Hillary?
Yes.
I'm at like a 6 or a 7. I mean,
really?
Yeah, I mean, she definitely piques my interest, and I'm going to go see her speak. Right. And I'm sure it'll be good. I think that's going to be one of those she's speaking with Mark type of situations.
Really?
I looked. I looked.
Oh. She's speaking with Mark?
Yeah, like the Mark Benioff special keynote. It's all jumbled around this year. The Mark Benioff keynote is not the opening morning.
No, that was last year.
It is in the afternoon. No.
Last year they did it the opening of the second day.
It is now the first day in the afternoon.
Okay.
And it is him with special guests, and she is one of them.
Oh, so she's coming out on the first day.
She's coming out the first day to speak with Mark.
I wonder if she's going to be part of the, maybe, because they did that this year, or last year, they did the 45 minutes basically of foundation stuff, but they had...
That could be part of it.
They had people up there.
We're speculating.
So you're a 6 or 7?
Yeah.
I'm more of an 8, 9, not from a personality standpoint, but from a historical significance point. Yeah, this podcast is not going to political, but she's pretty much going to run for president. She has a chance of becoming president. And having someone who is kind of in that powerful position come in and speak and hear their world views and see how they speak kind of in person, because I'm not a person to go to political stuff. I would never go to a rally or whatever.
Neither. I mean, I was really excited to see Bill Clinton speak.
Yeah.
But I will say the best speaker that I've ever seen at Dreamforce, kind of tied. Colin Powell, which is a political speaker, but Malcolm Gladwell being the other, and I thought he was really
very
great.
TED Talky special,
and I like that.
Yeah,
that's just
He just has a very good speech to put together. Well, oh wait,
it was around a book.
Gary Vaynerchuk, really?
Oh, he was
really.
Good. That was a breakout session. It wasn't really like a keynote. He did that. That was nice because it was a little more intimate. Continuing down the path.
Yeah.
Al Gore.
If you want to go left of Hill,
you've already downloaded. So if you want to stop listening now, that's okay. We go to Al Gore.
Right.
And Al Gore, I think, is speaking during the
foundation side of it.
No, I think he's speaking during that last day, that 3-hour chunk that they segment out
last
on the
year
last day.
Had Gupta,
Wayne Dwyer, and another doctor. I think he's speaking during that portion of the conference. I'm more excited to see Al Gore speak than Hillary Clinton because I think he actually has probably more to say about more relevant topics to the conference than Hillary would, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I definitely think he has an agenda. Hillary's coming off a big book tour, and she's about to head into running for president. Al Gore has always, since he's left office, has put his time and energy towards being an environmentalist and pushing the story and Inconvenient Truth and all that. So, honestly, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. I wouldn't mind if he just kind of reinvigorated me on that level. Like, I think the environmental stuff is kind of interesting. We've done with, like, poverty, and we've done with, like, personal health that I don't think, like, Benioff's ever brought in anybody to sort of go down the environmental path. So that'll be interesting.
I'd like to see how he can tie it in. Tie it into the whole Dreamforce flow and the Salesforce and the technology and tie it together. Make it a coherent thing. That's what I would like to see. And I think he's more capable of being on topic than, when I saw Bill Clinton speak, and that's the only reference I have for Hillary, I came away a little underwhelmed.
Right.
So I'm kind of expecting that to happen there, where I think Al Gore can speak on a different level, because he's not running for president.
Right.
He's past that. He's beyond that. He's just Al Gore. Speaking. And then we have our third speaker that we know of, Tony Robbins, back for another round.
Yeah, an exact another round. So I did not get to see him last time. You did.
I did.
Less than...
Wasn't my thing.
Wasn't your thing.
Wasn't my thing. He had a great energy about him. And it was really early in the morning on the last day of Dreamforce, and everyone who's been there knows how that goes. And he was just like, all right, it's great to be here. Everyone get up right now. Jump around. Look at the person next to you. High five them. And it was like, this is not my thing, man. You're not talking my language. Your energy's great. I can see how people would get into this and like jump around and hug each other.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Right.
So I'm going to skip Tony Robbins. I've been through the Tony Robbins experience. I sat there for a half hour and I left. So not for me, not my thing, but I know lots of people are excited, obviously, because he's coming back. So he's a friend of Mark Benioff.
Yeah, and he's a big speaker guy. Like, this guy it's his life is speaking. So, in some ways, he makes his career.
I feel like there's like
speaking.
a wellness track now at Dreamforce that exists over the last 3 years that he sort of started.
Right.
So he's now back to continue that track.
So all in all, I think those are good. There's
got to be more.
There's got to be more. They're obviously going to be the business ones, like, the business leaders and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting to see.
I'm going to actually go to the website. We should have done this 2 seconds ago.
No,
I'm going to the website to see if there's any more on there.
Don't do it.
No. We have Hillary. We have Al Gore. We have Tony Robbins. Not bad. Not bad. I'll say that.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
That's all you say.
Well,
what I have to say is, if you want to go see one of these people, we have a code for you.
Yeah.
A secret code to get $100 off Dreamforce.
Well, if it's a secret, wait, what are you doing?
Secret. Only for the CloudFocus Weekly podcast listeners.
Okay.
That's not true. But we don't really promote it outwardly. I don't know. The rules about how you can promote this are a little odd. So
I've seen people promoting it on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen people with their codes.
But anyway.
Not really like a a promotion.
It's $100 off. $100 off your registration. You just use the code at checkout for Dreamforce, EC14 Arkus. So that's E as in egg, C as in Charlie, the number 14, and then Arkus, ARKUS. Enjoy. It's already been used. We know that. That's good. Great. I had someone else thanked us the other day. They're like, thank you. I wanted to give out something to someone. Fine. Go ahead.
Fantastic.
Next up and last of our topics is World Cup from a technical view. Obviously, we've been watching the World Cup. I've watched a few too many. I was devastated watching U.S. get beat. I lost my bracket when Brazil got destroyed.
Wow.
Well, you're still in. So anyway. But I will say I watched at least 3 or 4 games on streaming through ESPN. There's some stats that have come out. 2 things. One is World Cup Brazil versus Germany was the most tweeted about story ever.
Had to have been.
Yeah, well, that's pretty
Just
impressive.
A drubbing.
Yeah, but wasn't the Super Bowl drubbing? Why wouldn't that be the most tweeted?
Let me help you here, because you're a American football sports fan. That's your sport. That's what you watch. You only really care about that. I am a sports fan that watches probably way too many sports, including soccer. And I don't think that the American public truly appreciates how popular this sport is across the planet. Like, we think football is the most popular thing ever, but it's not.
It's the most popular American sport, but that doesn't mean it's the most popular world sport.
This is the most popular sport across the globe. Everyone is watching this. Everyone is into it. So the fact that it's been the most tweeted event doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, no.
And as Twitter just growing, so like the next thing will be the next biggest tweeted event ever. Like, who knows? Hey, LeBron went to Cleveland today. Maybe that'll be the most tweeted about.
Guarantee it won't.
Well, you're right. It won't, because it doesn't have the world thing.
So, but let's talk about so we watched it. So we know that ESPN set records. I think we said in the last podcast, 1.7 million concurrent
streaming.
views.
It was the largest audience for a live streaming sporting event ever. Bigger than the Super Bowl, which is deceiving because no one's streaming the Super Bowl. They're watching it on television.
Right, because no one needs to stream it because
it's on Sunday and it's on TV.
Channel.
Well, it's not on every channel. It's on one
channel. But I mean, it's on regular airwaves. This was not, except for Telemundo.
Right.
Meaning if you just sitting outside with a little antenna, you couldn't pick this up.
No, you couldn't.
Right, whereas the football...
But you also couldn't stream it.
No, I understand. But like football, Super Bowl, if you're sitting outside with your little antenna, you could pick up the Super Bowl.
You could.
Right. So it's like...
It'd be terrible, but you could.
Why? HD. It's literally broadcast over the air in HD.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems terrible.
It's not.
Just doesn't sound right. I feel like you need to like plug those antennas in.
Anyway, so that's amazing. I'm so glad that ESPN... this, obviously, as someone who watches a lot of streaming TV and who enjoys it, who, I just want more. I want everything to go streaming. I want choice. I call it the golden age of TV, where it's the best TV content there's ever been. And now sporting events, which is the one thing that has been tough about streaming, is getting there. And and ESPN, I think, really is creating a new way of, watching sports. And hopefully this, as long as like AT&T buying DirecTV, which owns the Sunday Ticket franchise, like, I want this to go. I want sports wherever I want them, because it's, to me, I'm not a cord cutter, but like it's the thing that I can't cut my cord because of streaming sports.
Guess what? ESPN did a great job, and ESPN no longer owns the rights to
World Cup,
the FIFA tournaments.
Really?
Yeah, Fox is taking over
for the next round.
However, I don't know if they have it for 4 years or 8 years or whatever it is. Fox is taking over. So the next big, tournament that you can watch the United States in is, I think, next summer. We're in the Gold Cup again, and that'll be on Fox. So I don't know how they're going to handle their streaming of I don't know if the Gold Cup warrants live streaming, but I would say everything warrants live streaming.
Right.
So, I know I can watch any NBA game on my Apple TV. I know I can watch any Major League Baseball game on my
Like
Apple
NHL.
TV. Any NHL. I should be able to watch the NFL, but I can only do it on a website or something if I buy it. Why can't I do it on my Apple TV? But whatever.
That's an Apple thing, not an NFL thing.
Well, get with it, Apple.
Especially
So I'd like to
thing.
see how Fox picks this up, because I think ESPN did a bang-up job covering the World Cup from start to finish. They've been all over
except
it.
Except for the opening sequence with the like animated. It just looked like another scene
I liked
of Rio.
it. It was cool.
The movie Rio, I've seen the kids.
I've never
movie.
seen it.
Right. It just looked like another.
Whatever.
Scene
It was
of
catchy. It was fine.
Well,
Who cares? That is
terrible.
not at all.
Because you watched it 1,000
the
times.
Content. We're not really talking about the content. We're talking about how they technically covered the event that is the World Cup. That is a really large event.
So I watched, or sorry, I listened to.
Yeah, we know. You told us.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 football matches in the World Cup, and I will say it is one of the. So every sport is, I think baseball is probably the sport that probably translates the best onto TV, onto radio, because where everybody is standing is sort of always the same. And you can just say there's a this on this, there's a guy on first, a guy on second. You can in your head imagine exactly where they are, and when it's a strike, you know where a strike is. When it's a thing, you can see it.
Right.
American football, better. They're on the 20. It's second and go. Whoa. It's like you can put it in your head. Oh, he runs right for 3 yards and falls down. Okay, it's wide open. He's in a touchdown. Soccer is terrible because it's so fast paced. The ball is moving so quickly. The announcers can't keep up, and so like. You have no idea where the ball is. You only, when their voice starts raising, something's happening.
Yeah, I can't actually imagine it being good on the radio.
No, it's
baseball's the best radio sport by far. It's not even close. Baseball is like meant for the radio.
Yeah, it is.
It's like you don't even need it on TV. It's great on the radio.
For us who don't like baseball, I'd say, or don't like. It's not that I don't like it, but like, yeah, it's because it's so boring. You can still listen to it.
It's perfect for the radio. It allows time to breathe.
Oh yeah.
If you have a really good announcer doing a radio broadcast of baseball, it's
Well, we had a friend
thing.
who used to watch it but listen to it. Watch it but listen to it on a different thing. I don't know. Some people do that with the Yankees because they want to hear what the person do it. No?
John Sterling, he's a nightmare.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I've used the app, so I've tried a couple of the things. I was impressed by Google. Instead of going
Google
anywhere,
was great.
Just type in FIFA and then
You just
or FIFA.
all
and then
I was
boom.
doing was typing in World Cup.
Oh yeah, World Cup.
And then boom, it would pull up a nice one box for me, and then I'd get live. I can see videos and of all the goals, and it was really Google did a great job.
Tell me something. So tell actually what a one box is.
Oh, because I used the word one box. So, I think we think of a one box as something slightly different than what Google sort of branded one box. So what they meant by it was you'd have one search box to search for everything. An example of what we would call a one box is right now, if you were to go to Google and type in World Cup, let's just see what happens, right? If you type in World Cup into Google, you get this box at the top that is not a search result. Right? It's contextual data being presented back to you in a visual way that makes sense. Another example is if you just type, 2 plus 2 into the Google search box, you get the answer 4, but you also get a scientific calculator that you can then continue to use. So you get some functionality in your search results. You could type in JFK to SFO, and it'll show you flight times for flying from JFK to San Francisco.
Weather, New York,
with your zip code. There are tons and tons of examples of Google One boxes out there. There should actually be a website that has all of them.
I think there is.
There probably is, but really, really neat, right? I love me a Google One box.
No, so anyway, it's really interesting to watch them do it. Weather is the one I use all the time, and not because I can't get the weather somewhere else, but what's nice about it, although I've noticed it stopped working for our zip code recently. Kind of mad about that. But obviously, Google search is now in every URL. It's in every every window.
Yeah.
So like you don't have to go to the search bar anymore.
You just type it into the URL bar
and hit go.
You can use it as a dictionary. You can type the word define space and then whatever word you're looking to define. I oftentimes just use Google to spell check myself. I'll type something into my browser and just see what Google tells me if it's right or wrong.
It's funny. It brings up a point because I was just doing a lot of training in the last 2 weeks, and I always make the analogy of searching in Salesforce to having Google.
Me too.
Just to the point that if it's there, you can find it with search, and that people should use search. And I'm a big search person, so I always say
my speech goes a little deeper than that.
Well, hold on. I'm making my point.
Okay,
then we'll go on. CloudFocus the picks.
Go ahead.
But the one thing I say is that, so a couple differences. One is that, it breaks things into its different sections of what they are, accounts, leads, opportunities, whatever, which is different than Google. Although Google does sort of put, here's images, here's whatever, so maybe I should move that speech out. But the other thing is that it doesn't
outdated.
It doesn't understand the did you means.
No, it doesn't.
And whereas Google has done a great job of not, you don't really have to spell. There's a great video called "What If Google Were a Real Person." It's a College Humor video, and it basically has a guy behind a desk, and people are coming up to him saying search phrases, and he then hands them a piece of paper. But it's terrible. There are some. It's I don't think it's not safe for work. But this one person comes up and goes, "Gobble cream, gobble cream, gobble cream," and he's like, "Do you mean ice cream?" It's true that we use it sometimes to not even do the things we want. But Salesforce, and I get it, I get why, because of security. The theory that if I search for, I always use John as the thing, John or Jon. If I search for a Jon and it showed, did you mean John, but there wasn't a John in the system that I could see, or there was a John in the system but I couldn't see it, or either way, it's not a good thing. You can't suggest something unless you know that it's there and you know that they can get to it, and that algorithm is tough to do in search on the fly. Google obviously is saying, hey, I know there's this thing here, and I know you can see it because I'm giving the results, whereas Salesforce doesn't know that. So, anywho, let's get on with our CloudFocus app picks of the week. Actually, next time, or do we do this after? I forget when we do this.
Do whenever you want.
We'll do it next time. So next time we have a blog post on referral management. Ooh, in Salesforce. That's
exciting.
Right. That's very exciting. That'll be up next week. And then just as we started to record this podcast, Salesforce bought another company. So we'll talk about that next week. Whenever other news comes up. So let's make our picks of the week. You haven't filled out anything. That means you don't have a pick.
I have a pick right here. Now, this is a pick that you have actually picked before. But I'm using, they have a new mobile app. So this is an app that you love.
Huh?
You love this website.
OmniFocus?
You love this website.
ArkusInc.com?
You do love that website. What's your favorite website for finding flights?
Oh, Hipmunk.
Boom. Yeah, Hipmunk, the app.
I have that on all my devices.
Oh, that sucks. Well, anyway, I'm picking Hipmunk, the app. Well, it's like, isn't it like fairly new? Yeah. It's not.
No, you're going to TripAdvisor. Why don't you pick Yelp, which is like one of the first apps ever.
I was going to pick Evernote.
Yeah, Evernote.
I was going to do like you and pick Spring 12, but
Spring 12 was a great release. It wasn't Spring 14.
Oh, I thought, well, you picked the website, so I'm picking the app.
All right.
Hipmunk, the app, because I was looking for flights because I'm flying.
Tell them what Hipmunk is.
So Hipmunk's a way to just basically type in, I'm looking for, my departure city, where I'm headed to, when I'm leaving, when I'm coming back, how many people. Going? I'm going to Miami.
Okay.
From New York.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving on August 14th. I'm coming back August 17th.
Okay.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing. I'm gonna help you out in a second or two.
Okay, fine. So you can use Hipmunk, and it will search across all of the different airlines and kind of show you. All right, here's your departing flight times, prices, etc. Let you sort it by a bunch of different things, and then you're like, I'm
looking at you like a kid, and I hate it because he knows I already have something 10 times better.
I hate the way you're looking at me,
and it's gonna bring it all back in. Go to Google.
I'm so done right now.
Type in NYC to MIA.
But I do that all the time.
Nope, you don't.
All right, NYC to You're just ruining my pick.
Yep.
Hipmunk for the iOS. It's free. That's my pick. Okay, cool. Got it.
Go to the bottom where it says more Google flight results.
Got it. Okay. Whoa.
Now, make it better.
That's basically Hipmunk.
Make it better. Go over to where it says price. There's a little drop down. No,
Yeah.
sorry, not that one. Where the little chart. Hit the little chart.
Whoa.
And then look at the bottom.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Isn't that awesome?
Google One Box. You did just bring it right around.
I
That's
did.
good. I like what you did
So
there.
Google has released, this is about 2 weeks ago, they released this new flight tracker, and it has a calendar with all the prices and then this charting
Very good.
of where the prices are. It's absolutely brilliant. So use Google search for their new for the new flight finder. Sorry, Hipmunk. Nice try, but
My flight's on here, and it's actually pretty good. So not
but
bad.
that's pretty good. You see all the prices, the lowest price. It's
There's
actually
my flight. Blam.
It's one of the times where they take something and they just make it very, very easy and the best you could ever see it. So
all right. Well,
anyways,
I'm gonna
Hipmunk's
still
very
do
good
Hipmunk.
too, but now I use this. So sorry about that.
fine.
Speaking
whatever.
of things so I had a premonition today. No, I didn't. I had a thought today. I was out walking my dog. This is going to get personal. And I was walking in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we've mentioned, A, that, we live in the same neighborhood, but B, this neighborhood is right on the East River of New York City and got pummeled by Sandy. Not so much by, things being knocked down, whatever, but our building in particular got surrounded by 4 feet of water.
Yeah.
Literally, our building became an island.
I was here.
Right. I was here, too. No, you left.
I didn't go anywhere.
Oh, you stayed right in the building? I thought
sure
you left.
did.
All right.
No.
So,
No, thank you.
anywho, there's these beautiful bricks or whatever out on the main street, across the street, and some of them have suffered. They've been pushed in, whatever. They're having problems because of Sandy. So I'm walking along today, and I'm like, God, I should report that. I should call 311. I'm like, all right, let me call 311. I'm like, why? I'm like, there should be an app. So I'm like, let's just go tweet right now. Why is there not an app for New York City 311? Because what? It would be awesome. You'd be able to take a picture, tell the location, hit submit. I'm like, let me go tweet that. So I'm literally in the midst of tweeting, and I'm like, why don't you check to see if there isn't one first, doof? So I call myself a doof sometimes. So I go over to the App Store, and lo and behold, there it is. Lo and behold, download.
And is it any good?
And it's good.
Because I'm going to download it right now.
So it literally can go in.
Because when my car gets towed, I need to know where it is, and 311's the way to do it.
This one is for complaints. So you can put in and take pictures of and put location and submit complaints like, here's this place, there's a dead tree.
There's two.
You want that one.
There's NYC 311 and
Yes.
NYC 311 Plus.
Don't do the plus. That's some other company.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it is really good. And you send in the pictures. I was like, and all sorts of things, noise complaints, whatever. Because part of it is you don't want to get on a phone and talk to somebody.
The phone is not. You got to go through 12 minutes of IVR before you even
That's
get
right.
a person.
And now I could literally report. That's what I did this morning. I took shots of it, reported it, put the location, and hit submit. Up went the photos.
Why'd you have to put your location?
Because where it
know
is.
your location.
What did? Yeah, it did.
Why'd you have to put it?
I didn't. It said, can I use your location? I said, sure. So anyway, then it tells you the status of it. It keeps a ticket.
Oh, I like that.
So then you can see, let's see if they...
Think it's a Salesforce app?
No. So look here. There's the pothole I submitted.
Oh, look at you. You're going to go crazy. They're going to hate you.
Yeah, they're going to hate me. But it's in open status. Anyway, I think that's pretty good. That's a really
I'm going to
nice...
report something later.
Look at all the complaints you can do.
it.
Noise, rat conditions,
Ugh.
illegal parking, parking meter, blocked driveway,
Nice.
sidewalk, damaged tree. You can take pictures and say, here's where a new tree needs to go.
Yes.
Parks
I'm
and
putting
Rec.
trees everywhere.
Right?
I love it.
It's a pretty nice little
Looks nice,
app.
too.
And it's free, and I'm sure there's for other things, but it's on the iOS. So NYC 301, sorry, it's a very local thing. But it sort of brings the power of mobile computing. This is exactly what mobile computing is good at. Taking, having people crowdsource problems around the city so they can solve them, as opposed to phoning in. I will 10 times more likely do this than I ever would.
Absolutely.
I think I've called 301
Absolutely.
twice.
I only called 311 to find out where my car is, and I've done it twice, and it's been a miserable experience both times.
And they even have a suggestion. You can suggest what you'd like to have complaints about.
I want to know where my car is.
No, and I said I left the The one I wanted was taxi problems. Like you get in a taxi.
Oh, I hate that.
Right.
I got in a cab
Wouldn't it
a
be
month
great?
ago.
You just scan them and boom, boom.
I got in a cab a month ago, and he let me in the cab, which basically means I'm in.
Well, right.
And
he can't kick you out.
And he started his meter app, and I said, "Here's where I'm going." He goes, "Oh no, I'm off in 20 minutes. I'm not bringing you there." And I'm like, "Yes, you are. I'm in your cab."
Right.
And he's like, "I'm not bringing you there," and he just wouldn't go anywhere. I'm like, "Okay, mister," and I'm like taking a picture of his badge, and I'm doing all this stuff, slamming his door. He didn't care. He just drove away.
Building graffiti.
Did I do anything about it? No, I didn't.
Homeless assistance.
Oh, that's cool.
You could put in that someone needs help. I mean, what a great
Do you think
concept.
they actually help them, or do you think
Yes,
they,
it says they'll contact them within 2 hours. They
swoop
actually
them
say
away?
if you need immediate help, call 911.
That makes
But they
sense.
said they'll contact within 2 hours.
Cool. I got
Anyway,
the
what a
app
great
now.
app. All right, so that wraps up our podcast this week. A whole lot of something. Remember to follow us, Just Edelstein, Jason M. Atwood, Arkus Inc., Facebook.com/Arkus Inc. Remember to go to the Success Community Group, the Salesforce Success Community Group. We have CloudFocus Weekly in there. You can follow us in there. LinkedIn, Google+. Subscribe and review on iTunes and on Stitcher. Thank you for you who are paying attention to us on Stitcher. It's a great place to go.
Yeah.
It's actually just to listen to the podcast is probably one of the nicer places just to go listen to it because it
I
gives
like
you all
that
the
page
episodes.
it creates there.
Yeah, it's a nice page. And literally didn't have to do anything for it. And until next week, we'll be back with something else to talk about. Is Justin and Jason saying enjoy those cloudy days.